So on today's book table, we are going to be talking about the book Start With Yourself by Emma. Now, this very particular book, I have a lot of things that I want to say about this book. So I'm going to be talking about what I learned from the book, how to apply it, and what I think about the book itself. So wait till that part whereby I literally talk about that. Anyways, if you do not know who I am, my name is 𝐃𝐈𝐒𝐂𝐋𝐀𝐌𝐈𝐄𝐑. I'm a serious self-help book reader that takes all the knowledge that I grasp from the books, shares it with you, and you make your own personal opinion on what you think about any of the books or the things that I share about, okay? But before we get into the book, I want to address the elephant in the room, okay? It's the fact that I have been MIA for a very long time. I want to first of all say I apologize, and secondly, I am officially back. It has been itching me not to share content on YouTube. You don't understand how much I love this space and how much I have been creating for the last 6-7 years. I've been always consistent, I've never missed, but life happened to me last year that I had to take a step back. If I did not take that step back, trust and believe, all these self-help books that I've been reading would not have done anything to bring me back to this point that now I'm sharing. But if you're new here, you're welcome. Do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and literally share this. Something different that I want to do on this channel is that I want you guys to recommend me books that you think I would gladly enjoy. I'll read them, I'll share them, and I'll tell you what I think about the book. The same way I share books with you that I think that are really nice for you, I want you to tell me books that you think would literally change my life or would be really good. If I'm off balance, I'm looking here, I'm looking there, guys, I have been off this for a long time, so I'm trying my best, okay? Anyways, let us start with the book itself. So the book Start With Yourself is by Emma. If you do not know who Emma is, then you literally need to Google her. She is this business savvy woman that I absolutely love. She's been on Dragon's Den. She's also responsible for Skims. She's also responsible for Skims by Kim Kardashian. She's also responsible, she's tied into, let's say, The Good American by 𝐃𝐈𝐒𝐂𝐋𝐀𝐌𝐈𝐄𝐑. So she has multiple businesses. She is a mother, I think, of 4 kids. I may be wrong, of 4 kids. She is literally one of those ladies that I look at and I'm like, you know what? You can still have it all as a woman and smash everything. But remember this, one rule about me when it comes to sharing the books here is that I separate the individual from the book. I know they are 2 in 1, but for me, writing a book and you as a person are completely different things. Because when you share your podcast and your knowledge, I'm not paying for it, but when you tell me to go and pick up a book, I'm paying for that. Anyway, let us start off. So in the beginning of the book, she literally talks about and also, just to mention, I read this book on Audible. I don't have the physical book. I just thought I would just listen to it and sort of understand it. So let's get into the book itself. So in the book, she starts off by introducing who she is. She's from East London and she comes from a single mother. I think a single mother of 2. And she talks about her childhood, being 16 years old, living out at home, living out of her mother's house with a friend of theirs. They didn't have a fridge, or they didn't have, it was really a naked flat, I think. And then I think a friend of hers was arrested, and she was part of that day when everything happened, like everything went down. So imagine at 16 years old, you have to experience all these kind of things. Then she talks about how she has been an intern, how she's worked within fashion, how she quit jobs because they were not giving her what she you know, what you should earn, or what you should sort of deserve to earn, you know, just sort of giving her money here and there. How she's gone from, you know, having nothing to scaling herself to becoming who she actually is. She talks about also the idea of old thoughts versus the new thoughts. She says when it comes to new thoughts, when it comes to old thoughts are inherited beliefs. She's very good at things that are very inherited, that have got nothing to do with the present now, that you operate from the thoughts that did not serve you or the thoughts that you've been used to for a very long time. She says, don't talk about money. Ambition is selfish. Successful people are different. You need permission to move forward. Work-life balance means equal time everywhere. Failure means that you are not good enough. Sorry, I have notes here because I like to write things here a lot. Yeah, she says she argues in this book very much where she says that they aren't universal truths, they are simply outdated assumptions, that you have to create new thoughts to overcome those kind of old thoughts and what you think about everything. Then she also talks about fear, and she says fear is not your enemy as much as you think. Fear is more like a signal than a stop sign in life as well. It literally tells you that something is going on here, you need to pay attention. The whole entire book, she talks about this whole thing about women approaching her, women talking to her, how can I manage to be a mother, how can I manage to also scale a business and become successful as you are. And that whole section about motherhood is just a whole different kind of level. Now, this is the point where we come in the book where I appreciate everything that she mentioned in the book. I appreciate the fact that she has talked about your new thoughts, your old thoughts, you know, what the whole entire book is about. I like her points, and I'm just keeping here a lot of things that she said. She says that if you're never scared, you're probably not growing. She distinguishes between genuine danger from growth-related fear and encourages action over analysis, which is really good in the entire book. Now, but when I was reading this book, I struggled so much because I think in chapter 5, she talks about this whole thing about motherhood. And this is where Emma, if you ever watch this video, please do not come for me in a very harsh way, but there is something called the unfair advantage. And when you do have an unfair advantage in life, you need to acknowledge that you do have an unfair advantage. Emma has the advantage of, like, she has money. I understand she had to work so hard, you know, in an environment that did not favor her, like an environment whereby she's a woman, first of all. She comes from a single parenthood sort of environment, so that is also something completely different. She did not go ahead and finish all her school, so that is something again that is a little bit different. So you need to put all those things into consideration. But Emma forgets that after you've made that money, after you've got to that point in your life, your advantage to an extent that you can afford a nanny, you can afford a lot of luxury things. There are points in there that I don't totally agree with. The fact that she doesn't get so much involved with her kids' things and school and this and that and homework and all that kind of thing. She has a whole different perspective of a lot of things. And I know there is this whole conversation about motherhood and fatherhood. It's a whole different type of thing. Mums and dads have different roles that they play in a children's life, and as long as it's serving for her, that's absolutely fine. She talks about the fact that it's okay to have maternity leave, but sometimes you have to really weigh up a lot of things. There is a scenario where she talks about in the book where she says that one of her workers came to her and explained to her that, you know what, I need time with my newborn, 3 weeks, I think, a newborn baby, and I want to start working from home. It was either I want to start working from home. No, she said I want to do half days and then, you know, go home. Emma told her straight away no. And I was like, she explained to her a logic of, like, is it something that you're kind of like afraid of, or something that is happening, or this and that, whatever conversation they had. But Emma saying no to a lady and saying that you have to, the whole book is about the comparison about men and women and how men are perceived when it comes to work, and when women are perceived when it comes to sort of work and that kind of whole environment. I understand it, I get it, but it was very out of touch. If I am a mother, I've given birth to 2 children, and I'm coming to you for advice, and I'm saying, how can I be a mother and how can I be a businesswoman? And you're telling me that I have to kind of like be a bit savvy, reduce on my motherhood so I can concentrate on getting money. Okay, so it's like yeah, I get it, Emma, and I do not want to capitalize on that. The other thing that I would say that really disappointed me about this book, the beginning of the book was good, but then when I went through the whole entire book, I just could not finish the last 2 chapters because I just had enough of the book. And it's because this whole thing about Emma is a business lady. Like, she makes money, she's comfortable, she's got a good partner, she's got good kids. I'm not talking about the side of the relationship, how it is, and everything else is whole different. You know, she has nannies at home, nannies at work, things work for her, she travels wherever she can choose decisions of not being with a child or being with a child, all those kind of things. Okay, when I picked up this book, this is what I was expecting from your book, Emma. I was expecting you to tell me how I can run a business, how I can actually be able to work for people like Kim Kardashian. like Khloe Kardashian, like the Kardashians. Be able to work with other business tech people. I wanted steps on how I expect it to be like a business book, like money, business, power in one book for a woman. I was not expecting a story. Like, it felt like a normal self-development book. I read a couple of books here, and there are books that I can recommend to you, and I tell you that book is very good because it's teaching me something. This book felt like I was reading any other self-development book. Take care of your mind, take care of yourself, you know, make sure that you write a plan, you don't write a plan. Like, that is how that book felt to me. And there are books here that I'll tell you that pass Emma's book by a mile. Emma, the woman that you are, I was expecting a book that is business minded. We're getting this money, we're doing this, we're scaling. Like, this is how you start, this is how you do the advertisement, this is how you walk into rooms, this is how you negotiate, this is how you talk, this is how you present yourself. That is what I was expecting for the book. But I am so disappointed in this book, and I will not lie to you, because my expectation versus what I read was different. It was not any different from any of the self-development books that I've read. And like I've said, I've read a couple of self-development books, and I can tell you some books that are absolutely really good and books that are not good at all. There are books that will literally, okay, let's put it this way. If you're a beginner and you want to have something to give you encouragement and to start with yourself is a very good book. But if you're looking for something that is business, work life, that kind of thing, okay, I will not say I'm not the one to say I don't recommend a book because I'm not an author. But Emma, I'm giving this book a 2-star. A 2-star for the writing, a 2-star for the energy and putting the book together. But honestly, Emma, I love you. I've seen you for a very long time. I see your work. I love your podcast. I love the people that you put on your podcast. But this book for me did not hit the mark. The book itself, I was expecting more. Like I explained, I was expecting you to present it in a very much way, like, I'm a woman coming to you. How can I scale a business, start a business, be confident in a world where it's full of men, get that money? You know, I wanted steps of that. Like, where did you search? Where did you look? What companies did you work with? What is your journey towards that? Everything else about how you started, how life is, the thoughts and this and that. No. That section about women, the nanny, the whole pregnancy thing, the whole thing about women and all that is a little bit out of touch, slightly. And yeah, let me just end there because there's not much I can say about the book. I didn't read the last 2 chapters. I read the whole entire thing. I had to just stop because I'm just like, I wish, Emma, in the future you do write a book that literally addresses all these things, because now she moved to America. How did you make that decision to move to America? How did it affect you? Like, what type of businesses do you think I should be looking at? What do you think in the market is there that I can pick up, that I can pull? Like, how to spot something that is coming out in the market? How do I invest? How do I do all those things? I want something like that. But Emma, no. Anyways, I'm gonna end it here. Have you read the book Start With Yourself? If you have, let me know down in the comments because I could be wrong. But apart from that, thank you so much for watching, and my name remains Lucy A. Sorry that this was just like me, I was blabbing and blabbing. Yeah, I'll be better next time. Do not forget to like, comment and subscribe. Until next time, ciao.